Aaron Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears. I am today's host, Alex Clark, joined by our very own name roster invitees. It is time for Matthias Olma-Kurosaki and for Ryan Splash Potts, my main men. We are at the final Wednesday of February, and we have baseball. Baseball has been on the TV. How are you guys doing so far?
Recovering from a mild illness. I don't even know if it was really an illness. I think it's just that I inhaled some dust while cleaning out my sister's apartment the other day, or her new apartment, and so I did lose my voice briefly. Luckily, I'm back. But yeah, I've been just watching baseball whenever possible. I mean, I know spring training games don't count for anything, but I mean, yeah, it's just nice to have it on my TV again. So yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm going to Japan in a little over a week, so there's gonna be one more week where you guys are stuck with just these two gentlemen. But yeah, I trust them to hold down the fort. But yeah, other than that, recovered from the snowstorm too. New York City got 20 inches of snow over the weekend, so that was lovely. I did not go outside for 48 hours, but we're back, and yeah, more baseball. Love that.
Love to see it.
Yeah, we do love baseball. How's it going, fellas? Matt Olson is our glorious king. Everything is going well besides the injuries, and that's going horribly. I guess we did get like good news for Ha-Seong Kim and Sean Murphy, but Schwellenbach being hurt, Waldrop being hurt, it's like here we go again. So that's the downside, to these these early spring training days. Rash of injuries. Every pitcher's ramping up. Every hitter's ramping up. We had the Ham-Eights a couple weeks ago. It's just total chaos.
Yeah. The Ham-Eights are I'm still explaining that to people. And that's what's interesting here is because, it's something that is honestly devastating, but it's so weird to say, oh, yeah, it's a bone in your hand, right here, and it means you can't hit the ball ever again. Okay,
well,
sure,
you get it taken out, and you wait, I don't know, a couple months to get your power back, and then you have no problems. It's sort of like your appendix in a way, the appendix of the hand a little bit. But you don't want to preemptively have surgery. But if the guy, like in Francisco Lindor's case, it was a stress reaction that, maybe there's an issue here. And then Corbin Carroll just broke it on a swing. Just bad luck, I read a story that both Canseco brothers did it in the same spring training. What are the odds of that,
Insane. Yeah. Overall, I'm doing pretty darn good. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I took a half day at work so I can get a bunch of errands done, and I'm so glad I did. It reduced a lot of stress that was on my plate here. But honestly, I'm just so happy to have baseball back. I think I posted on Twitter that the first graphic of coming from the MLB app to my phone of the probable pitchers here that it hit harder than a Gunther chop here, and I still very much stand by that here. But with all that being said here, there's one big story here. Oh, first off, gotta give the shout out here to XYZ Ballin. Always good to have you here. But man, we appreciate your patronage coming on in here and having a good time. But with that being said, spring training is here, and this is now the second spring training that Major League players have gotten to use the ABS system. And it's even more important now because it's going to be in play for the regular season. Here, now, this is going to be the first season in Major League Baseball where players will be able to challenge balls and strikes. We saw it in use last year. In fact, the very first time that we got real seeing of how this could work here on a national scale, at least, was there was one minor league game that showed it, and then you had the futures games that were showing it, then minor league games, and now, then last year we saw it in spring training. This year, it's in spring training as well as in the actual regular season. So, fellas, first things first here with this. How much is this going to affect the game? Legitimately, this is a huge step forward. This, to me, this has the same kind of impact like putting in the pitch clock. Here, it is going to, I think, really change how the game is played.
I just want to say, the World Baseball Classic screwed up. This is perfect testing grounds, Major League Baseball. Why didn't you put this in the World Baseball Classic? I understand that. I think Puerto Rico Stadium doesn't have the technology for Hawkeye. Maybe that's why. So you just don't have it in one stadium, don't have it in any stadium. Okay, fine. Why don't you institute it in the quarterfinals or whenever you get all the games played on U.S. soil? I think there's a missed opportunity there that you could have had just an easy test ground to have it work in a high leverage spot.
We had the same issue with the pitch clock in 2023. I remember it was ready to be implemented in the majors in the regular season, but they didn't use it at all in the World Baseball Classic. So some of those games still took a really long time.
Right.
Yeah, you get the same sort of issues. And I understand technologically speaking, maybe it's not viable in San Juan. Understandable. Okay, that's not the problem. I think this is just like going into your woodworking with a finer grit sandpaper. I don't think it's massively change the product, but at the end, when you see, oh yeah, he used that 10,000 grit sandpaper, that Diamond X sandpaper, it'll look just a little bit cleaner. And like you said with the pitch clock, the pitch clock wasn't like it changed the game, but it didn't make a chair into a table. It made the chair look better.
That's fair. Yeah, and I think that's a really good way about putting this here, is that it basically helped polish the game into what it is now. This is different, in my opinion, because on top of it, so again, I come from years of umpiring, an umpire school as well. Well, training, I should say. I didn't officially get to go to umpire school. That would have been a very interesting time, though. But one of the things that they always taught you is that you do not allow people to challenge balls and strikes. You can have them come tell you to go ask for help on check swings, on plays around the diamond, all that kind of stuff. Balls and strikes, no one has a better view than you do as an umpire. So this is a big change in that it is getting rid of that ability here to some degree, not fully, mind you, because teams still have a finite number of challenges here. Well, technically, I guess it could be infinite if they do it correctly, but I don't.
Yes,
in theory,
it's not going to happen though. I'll say that much, because there are people that are just a little bit arrogant here. Not going to say any names. Or people that don't have, a good eye, or maybe need LASIK to sponsor them. But at the same point here, it is so cool to me to see how baseball is evolving here, because even though I am an umpire, I've been an advocate for the replay review system, and I like the ABS system too, because umpires need to, people need to remember, and umpires sometimes also need to remember, they're not gods, they're arbiters. They're arbiters of the game, keeping the control of the game, letting it not get into that chaos here. And that is the big point that I want to make sure is said here. Also, Bob Potts, hello. Thank you so much here for joining in here. The main point you want to bring in here on this is that the game itself is building strong, so now you have more accountability here. And that's the big thing here, is that you're not able to do it all the time, but you're able to do it when it matters most here. And as long as, you're being smart about your challenges here. One thing I want to bring up as well when it comes to all of this, when it comes to the calling the balls and strikes, all this kind of stuff, I will always go back here to the Andres Galarraga situation, right?
Or Armando.
Unperfect. Yeah, sorry, Armando Galarraga. Thank you. And again, the unperfect game. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of using replay review. Umpires should not care about the result of the game. they shouldn't. They have no stake in it, or should not have any stake in it, Pat Hoberg. But what you have to do here is like what the umpires need to remember is that they are not perfect. We need to remember umpires are not perfect. But I will say it's a lot closer to the umpire side than it is the fan side. If you ask any common fan, they're going to say that an umpire is going to get almost every other call wrong. No, even the worst ones, even Angel Hernandez, was still getting 86% of the calls correct, and that is abysmally low. Like,
the league average is 94 is league average, I think.
Exactly. And just kind of put that into perspective here, right? If let's say 94, 95 is league average here, that means 1 out of every 20 pitches is called wrong. Out of every 20, when there are 200 pitches plus thrown in a game, I'll take those odds. Those are pretty good. So umpiring has also gotten a lot better once we've gotten more replay review, and I think this is going to make umpires even better because it's also going to show that they've been right on a lot of the things here as well. Mac, let me get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this much. For the most part, the younger umpires are far more accurate calling balls and strikes. They were taught the proper strike zone. In the 90s and into the 2000s, the strike zone didn't quite have an established border, it felt like. You see more and more like guys like Angel Hernandez and CB Bucknor, and like there are a couple other guys who are still around from those other days where they were taught a completely different strike zone. But I really like the implementation of ABS. I know some people have had some quibbles here and there, but I mean it's good. It's for the better of the game, I think. And also it takes like 5 seconds to challenge a call. And I really like what some skippers are saying though, which is if they're on defense or if they're in the field, they want their catchers challenging. They have a better vantage point, I think, than the pitchers. Obviously, they're closer to the plate. So I like that. I like that pitchers, it seemed like, are open to letting their catchers take charge. But really, I mean, you still see a lot of like goofy mistakes behind the plate sometimes, and this is a good way to correct them. And if you're really confident that you think the call is wrong, you're going to challenge it. Like I said, it takes 5 seconds to do. So it's not like these long, drawn out replay reviews that you see on like safer out at first, or whether or not it went over the fence, or in the NFL if the pass was caught inbounds or dropped or what. So yeah, I like ABS. I think it's good for the game.
Mac, I have words. I have lots of words.
Trust me, I have lots of words too.
Your fraudulent organization robbed my glorious team of a win.
Splash, I just want I to bring it back somewhat on track, but also going off track at the same time here. I'm really glad you have words because that's what's needed for an audio podcast.
Good point.
Yes.
Okay. Not the question of the day. Is there like a deaf version of podcasts?
Good question.
That is a good question. I
do not know.
Oh wait, no, yes. There's a lot of times we'll have like closed captioning.
Closed captioning, yes.
Okay. Because I know there's one of the things at the Super Bowl was the version of football for Braille. Like that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's I love to see that. But Ravens Steelers aside, I'm curious. I'm curious how this affects some players who crouch in their batting stances. So Juan Soto, for example, he's going to have no problems. Maybe once or twice in April, he'll get rung up on a pitch at the top of the strike zone because he does get into a little bit of a crouch, and his old strike zone, if you will, would have been a little bit smaller. And now it's based on a percentage of your height, not the percentage of your stance, because you could do there was I forget where he was from. There was a kid at the Little League World Series who just got down like 6 inches.
Yeah, that was goofy.
I can explain that after, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's kind of gaming the rules a little bit. But like Soto gets into a little bit of a crouch. Like Ozzy's pretty low and spread out. If Jeff Bagwell was playing nowadays, he had a really crouched stance.
Mhm.
But the ABS system is based on your height, not your stance. So I think Soto might get rung up on a couple calls at the top of the zone early in the season, and then May rolls around. It's like, I'm just going to hit those for home runs, man. So, but Soto, I don't think it's going to be affected by the other players who have more of a crouch style. I don't know. I'm interested to see how it affects them.
Yeah, one of the things I want to kind of bring up, it's along what you brought up of the kid that just basically squatted down here for it, is that one of the things we were taught in umpire school was the strike zone is determined not when they take their batting stance, it is determined when they walk into the box. Here, where are the dimensions of their body? Here, as soon as they walk in. So it's before they do all the crouching and all that here. So this is a little bit more of proof of concept of that here too, where you are now seeing again, players that even if they are squatting here, that doesn't matter. They are getting measured for their strike zones as we speak, basically. So no matter how much you may decide to crouch, no matter how much you may decide to just be completely standing straight up, will not matter. Your strike zone is your strike zone here from what the measurements are going to be here for it. Any other last notes here on ABS?
Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing it in the regular season. I think it's going to be for the better. I know it kind of sucks for some umpires, like it might be fewer and fewer jobs, but I think really it's better for the integrity of the game.
People were saying the same thing about the integrity for the umpires here and the jobs for the umpires after we got the replay system the first time. And I don't think we lost any good umpires at that point. We just gained more good ones.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like fine tuning. It's the next grid of sandpaper. It's not dramatically changing anything. And you got to imagine half of the challenges are going to be wrong, give or take. So It's not like for as many times as, oh man, what a crappy call by the umpire. There's going to be some holy crap, what a call by the umpire, and the player gets it wrong. My name is under a tenth of an inch. Matt Olson had one that was under a tenth of an inch correct today. There will be some calls in the coming weeks, in the coming months, that are under a tenth of an inch, but the umpire was correct, and the team loses one of their challenges. Do we want to do our rapid fire, fellas?
Yeah, I was actually about to transition into that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Here, I was going to transition into it saying that it's like, well, we're talking a bit more about what players you would allow. There's a lot of times where you'll see the athletes have already been asked about, are you going to be able to do the challenge here? Because a lot of teams are talking to their players saying, you have the green light to do the challenges. You don't have the green light to do challenges here. And then there's others that are saying, I don't want the green light to do challenges. So with that being said, Splash, I want to hear your you come up with a bit of a rapid fire of, would we allow this person to make a challenge here on this? And under what circumstances maybe would we let them?
Okay. First, I do have a couple. I want one name. I'm going to give you a superlative. Think of it like that. I'm going to give you a topic. You give me the name. All right. Okay. First off, best hitter in terms of challenging will be
Juan Soto. And I don't know if that's particularly close.
Okay. The worst hitter in terms of challenges.
I think when it comes to Soto, I do want to add into it. I think it's going to be Soto post-May. Because I think the first month's going to be, there's going to be probably a bit of learning.
An adjustment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The worst hitter by challenges will be.
I mean, I hate to do it to him, but it's PCA, man. Dude just swings at everything. Yeah.
No Javi Baez.
I mean,
no.
I wonder
how much Baez started to figure it out.
Well, my thing is, I wonder how much Baez is actually going to challenge, because he's on the older side, and PCA is obviously very young. I feel like he'll go for it more often. I don't know if he knows the strike zone that well.
All right. Who will have the most viral challenge of the year?
Most viral?
Ooh. Whether it's a over the top tapping the helmet or big spot.
That's a really good one. It's gonna be a player that. Okay, I've got one here. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, but Jared Kelnick, the dude gets mad over everything, so I could see him just say, "I'm doing this for myself." Gets it wrong. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go Javi Baez here. I think it'll just break the internet if he gets one right.
Yeah. The one I
Honestly,
find,
no, that's fair.
the one I am thinking of is on Kyle Schwarber on Sunday Night Baseball when he absolutely lost it on the umpire.
on Angel. Yeah.
Castellanos might have one for San Diego this year.
I can see it.
Yeah. There's probably some pitcher that'll have like a crazy reaction, like when Scherzer gets signed or another veteran. Scherzer knows the strike zone, so he'll probably have leeway to challenge whatever team he signs with. All right, fellas, rapid fire. I'm going to give you a name. You give me the situation they would challenge. So, obviously, if it's the last pitch of the game, deciding, walk or game over, yeah, most players would be allowed to challenge. But would Juan Soto be allowed to challenge second inning? No one's on, 2 outs? I don't know. All right, fellas, what restrictions would you put on Aaron Judge challenging?
None.
Yeah, I would let Judge do it when I'd let him challenge whenever.
Okay.
When you're the MVP, you're afforded some of that.
Okay. I have a counter because he's 6'7" and it's a gigantic strike zone.
That is true. Yeah.
So that's my counter. Maybe you talk to him and say you get squeezed at the bottom, so you can challenge those, but at the top of the zone, just let him go, deal with it. It'll balance out in the end. I don't know if they're having conversations like that. Maybe those conversations will come. All right. I'm going to go with a young stud, Nick Kurtz. What's his challenging acumen?
Oh, I mean, personally, I would save it for when they're men on base with him.
I mean, I'm gonna say 8th inning or later.
Okay. The San Francisco Giants' newest infielder, Luis Arraez.
No.
Swings at everything.
I would want to put if there are men in scoring position.
So I'm actually going to take this a little bit differently here. I'm going to say later in anytime after the 6th inning. Because not for the reason of being able to drive runners in, just that I know that by the way, I should say past 6th inning and 2 strikes. Okay. Because at that point I want him just to keep fouling everything off to destroy that bullpen.
Okay. All right. Let's go to a player we all know and kind of love, I guess. Michael Harris, the king of not knowing the strike zone.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to go late and close. That's when I'd let Michael Harris challenge.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of my favorite YouTube channels, The Underdogs, and say the shock collar, as in, no, just don't, please. Okay. Legitimately, the only way how I'm letting him do that is if it is the last pitch of the game. Because you have nothing left to lose.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. We'll go to the American League. Julio Rodriguez, just your standard, star player.
I'm going to say kind of along the same line as Judge here, that when you are at that caliber, you are allowed to do that. So funny enough, actually, Julio was asked about it today, and he said, I might challenge. I'm not really sure. It just might happen. I don't know. But if you go back to the beginning of his career here, his eye was actually really good. He was getting rung up on a lot of pitches that were outside the zone here. So right, I think that if he knows the zone and he's been well enough disciplined at that, he can definitely overturn some challenges.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of agree, but I think it's again one of those things where if there are men on base for him, go for it. But yeah, unless you're really sure, I would try to hold off. But
all right, the modern day Archivon, Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin.
I'm I'm gonna take the easy answer here and just say when those runners on in a prime scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna agree here. I haven't seen enough of Connor Griffin. Well, obviously he hasn't played in the majors yet, but yeah, I think that's a fair deal.
Okay. Last one. This is from the catcher perspective. Agustin Ramirez.
Oh,
Remember the Marlins are taking the game calling out of it. They're going to call pitches from the dugout.
correct.
So does that give Augustine more leeway, more like focus on where's the pitch? Because he's a decent enough framer.
He's not excellent behind the plate, and I don't even know how much he's going to be catching this year. That's my question. It seems like he's going to get a lot of DH at bats. From a catching perspective, I mean, if it's a full count and he really thinks it was on the corner, go for it. But I wouldn't be too aggressive there.
Okay,
I'm just going to say the same thing here again. Another late innings here, runners on base.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Thank you for putting that together, though, because honestly, that's a lot of fun getting to just say, what do you think about this person? And then we can just absolutely dunk on Michael Harris. But with that being said here, I would like to pass things over to Mac for a moment because it is time for the drum roll, please. The question of the day.
Alex, I can't find the video.
The graphic.
I'm looking for the graphic.
Yeah, where's the video splash?
Wait, there it is.
There's the question of the day.
Yay! There we go. We got it. Yay! We have high production value. All right, Matt. What is our question of the day?
Question of the day is, food related. What is the best type of pasta?
Ooh.
Okay, counter. Is this pasta dish or just like?
Yeah, I'm gonna say pasta dish.
Okay.
Okay, now you lost me. I was hoping you were just gonna say the kind of noodle.
Okay.
I mean, that kind of goes in with it, I think.
Yeah.
Not for me, unfortunately.
Does mac and cheese count? Because like mac and cheese is like the goat.
I guess mac and cheese does. I mean, is it pasta? I mean, it's there are noodles in there, like it's boiled. I mean, I think I would accept mac and cheese.
Okay.
I mean, people know my pasta dish is spaghetti, Parmesan, salt, and butter. That is
honestly, that's a good combo. I mean,
that is my legendary combo that I will never let be beaten. No sauces, just the facts.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, no, I actually do vibe with that.
I will say the reason why I brought up about like the certain noodle is because there are different noodles that you can do with these that definitely impact it. Not even just flavor wise, texture wise. So like, okay, I had this one. I cannot remember the name of the restaurant, but they sold sourdough pasta that was absolutely incredible.
I was going to say that sounds great.
Yeah, and I had that with my pasta dish, and brother, that was I was about to say amazing because it's not incredible or amazing. It's both. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, my answer, one of my favorite foods of all time, carbonara.
Yeah,
I love carbonara.
I've had it a couple times.
You got to make it with bucatini, though. In my opinion. Or spaghetti, or you could even make it with udon noodles. But yeah,
I recommend not though. But yes,
I love carbonara.
So if we're going like just any dish with pasta, I think it's mac and cheese. If we're going more like Italian themed, cacio e pepe is quite good.
Cacio e pepe is very good. Yes,
quite good, quite simple, just straight to the point. I actually had cacio e pepe mac and cheese at work last night. That was terrific.
Damn, I want that.
Yeah, that was good. Lasagna.
Lasagna is great. Love lasagna.
Guys, I have a mental riddle, a mental conundrum for you guys about lasagna.
Is it a soup?
If you take if you take two pizzas and you put them on top of one another, people will say that you have two pizzas. But if you have two pieces of lasagna and you put them on top of one another, you now just have one piece of lasagna.
I raised you one. I think you just have a mouth orgasm at that point.
I was talking about that with a friend of mine last night, and he goes, "No, that makes sense because lasagna is inherently stackable." And I just said, "So lasagna is the Lego of pasta." Got it.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I agree. Garfield agrees.
Yeah, let me
Garfield
tell
has-
you. Let me put you guys on. There's a Turkish dish that they serve over here. It's called su boreki. Boregi. It is the equivalent of Turkish lasagna. It is
Oh, wow.
terrific. So
Interesting.
it's yeah. So you get the layers of phyllo dough with cheese and sometimes a little bit of meat in there. It's terrific. Highly recommend.
Fair enough then. All right then. Any more with the question of the day? Are we good to move on?
Oh, let's move on.
Pasta is amazing. That's my last word on it.
Yes.
All right, but you know what's also amazing? Talking about our positional rankings, it's time for the right fielders here. And this list, man, I'm gonna be honest. This list hurt me because this is
A lot of star power.
It changed a lot here.
Yeah.
Not like just as I was making this. This changed a lot from when I first made this list here because of injuries, because of people moving positions here that I had to move some names around here. And I have one name in here that honestly I did not have at the beginning of the offseason. That I'm not going to say will shock many people, but he is now on that list. Here, so Splash, you want to bring up the graphics? Do you have those?
Yes, I had a malfunction, so please one
Oh,
moment.
you're good. No,
I will
wait.
say,
Yep.
our list, or at least my list, was impacted because Juan Soto is no longer a right fielder.
Yep.
Yes.
That
I was
had to
under
be
the
as
impression
well.
he was up until a couple weeks ago, but yeah.
All right, here we go, fellas. Let me. It would be nice if I was smart in how I made my thirds, but that's okay. All right, are we ready, kids?
Sure.
Aye, aye, Captain. All right, who wants to go first?
Aye, Captain. Oh, let's start out. Yeah, how about Splash? Let's have you go first on this one here. Any honorable mentions you also want to bring up?
No honorable mentions. Before Soto
I'm with you
moved,
there.
I did have a clear top 6. Unfortunately for the memes, Kyle Tucker is now in the top 5. It would have been a lot more fun to me had the $60 million a year man not been a top 5 player at his own position. But, Kyle Tucker is just a really good baseball player. Hits the ball hard. Hits for contact, hits for power, runs the base as well. He's not the fastest guy. We've actually talked about this every year when we bring up Kyle Tucker. Or as one year, I refer to him as Justin Tucker, but that name is sacrilege now. Yeah, he's a solid fielder. I don't think he'll be Gold Glove caliber like he was a few years ago when he was in Houston. But he should be fine in LA, and it's an upgrade over Michael Conforto. You swap him with Teoscar Hernandez. It's the rich get richer. Is he like an MVP level player? I don't think so. Did he have a half season in Houston that he looked like a potential MVP level player? Sure. Last year with Chicago was pretty good. He got injured, came back, wasn't quite the same. So I think he'll be about a 130 OPS plus guy. Solid defense, solid base running, just like a 4.5 win player.
Yeah, and I'll go second. I also have Kyle Tucker at number 5, and yeah, up until Soto switched positions, I also did not have him in my top 5. But I mean, really, he sort of just checks the boxes for the most part. He did have that awkward stretch where he tried playing through the hand injury, which really hurt him. But he still finished the year with a 136 WRC plus. Still had a 2020 season, walked at almost a 15% clip, struck out at also around a 15% clip. Actually, the second lowest mark of his career at 14.7%. So while he didn't necessarily light the world on fire like he did for that half season in 2024, I mean, still 4.5 F4 player. He's never exceeded 5, but every full season he's played, he's been between 4.2 and 4.9. So, and by the way, he had 4.2 in that 78 game sample size in 2024. So Kyle Tucker is still a good player. Do I think he's worth $60 million annually? Not really, but I mean, I understand why the Dodgers wanted him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll give a couple honorable mentions before I get to my number 5 here. I don't have Willie Abreu in my list. He almost made it here, and honestly, you can make the argument that he should have been my number 5. Here, Seiya Suzuki is not in my top 5. He was also pretty close. I liked him a lot. One name I want to bring, I want to at least make sure he gets his flowers here, is Addison Barger. I think that Barger is going to be very interesting this year, given how much happened with him in the postseason last year. He's going to get, I think, a lot more playing time after all of that. So, with that being said, my number 5, I know he's hurt. Don't care. Corbin Carroll. Again, this is really going to come down to how fast he can recover from the hamate bone injury. But even then, even without the hamate bone injury, you know what he still has? His legs. He is still an incredibly fast runner. And even if he has to lay down a bunt leg out a single or become more of a slap hitter for a little bit and get on base, steal bases, he is still going to be an effective hitter. He does not need massive power to be as good as he is. And then once he is fully healthy, then he gets to add that back to his game. Corbin Carroll was a lot higher on my list until the hamate bone injury here. And because of that, all right, give me number 4 here on this. This is where I put Kyle Tucker. I wanted Kyle Tucker legitimately to me on this list is actually either 6 or 7. And I think no splash. I'm going to deny that. Thank you very much. But the problem I have right now is that Juan Soto is no longer on the list, so that puts him up one more. And Corbin Carroll is hurt. So, okay, now I have to decide between Kyle Tucker and Willie Abreu. And I'm like, I think I'd take Tucker in those situations here. And then Corbin Carroll gets hurt here on top of all of it. So I move him into number 4 spot. Like, is Kyle Tucker worth the $60 million a year? Absolutely not. Is he still a very good player here and is going to do a lot of good work for the Dodgers? Yeah, he is. I don't think there's a universe where he's not. I also, to add a little bit more to it, though, he will not be a top 3 war getter on his own team. It's going to be close, maybe. He'll be top 5. But even then, he's a really powerful outfielder with a pretty solid defense overall. He's just good at everything. He's not elite at anything. He's just good. He's good at everything, but is he good enough to top the other 3? Because I got to tell you, this really takes a jump for me between 3 to 4. The guys that are the top 3, at least for me, are just absolutely in another league.
Yeah, and I'll go next. I have Fernando Tatis Jr. at number 4, and I heavily considered putting him in my top 3. He may no longer be a 150 WRC plus guy, but he still put up 131 WRC plus. His glove rebounded. That's the big thing for me. He stole 32 bases, but he had 9 outs above average. So he was at 6.1 F4, which is almost on par with his 6.8 mark from 2021. So he's not necessarily a platinum glover anymore either, but he hits enough and he fields enough to the point where you can consider him an elite right fielder. Like I said, 25 home runs, 32 steals, 131 WRC plus, which is slightly lower than 2024. But I think the last 2 years have proven he's a lot more like this than he was the 111 WRC plus guy in 2023. And he's a super talented player. I think he's basically a 5-tool player. His arm is ridiculous, one of the strongest in the game, 99th percentile. You look at his StatCast page; it's a sea of red, basically. His whiff rate is a little high, but that's tolerable. His chase rate is above average, 73rd percentile. He still has good bat speed, still hits the tar out of the ball, still has a hard hit rate over 50%. So he really checks all the boxes. I think he's better at what he does he excels at the things he's great at better than Tucker does. So that's what gave him the edge over Tucker. So I put Tatis at number 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people have him ranked higher.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'll do my 3 and 4 together. Corbin Carroll at 4, Fernando Tatis at 3. They were essentially tied for me. I'll move Carroll down like a half of a tick because he'll lose some power early on in this season. And that could be the difference, over the course of a full season, that he hits 2 or 3 fewer home runs, or it's a couple of doubles instead of home runs, or a couple of singles instead of home runs. So they're different players archetypally. I don't know if that's a word, but let's pretend it is. Tatis is more defense and power centric, and Carroll is the best base runner in baseball. He and Trey Turner right there, Byron Buxton. I do have a little concern with Carroll losing his power, but he's lost his power before and gotten back to it. I remember we had a pre-show meeting and I was talking with Alex. I'm like, I'm just out on Corbin Carroll. The shoulder injury is concerning to me. He has no power. It's all speed. It's all defense. He's not even that good of a defender. Since then, he's been Barry Bonds with wheels, with extra wheels. It's like 2001 Barry Bonds, but stealing 50 bases. Carroll, exceptionally talented. I'm excited that he has played a lot better defensively. He was even graded out better than Tatis last season. But Tatis, with the Carroll injury, I'll give Tatis the edge here. He still hits the snot out of the ball, 93.3 average exit velo, 52% hard hit rate. Those are excellent. Walks a lot, 13% last year. Really good defender, 94th percentile. Humongous bazooka of an arm. So there's everything to like from a batted ball profile. Do I wish like shortstop Fernando Tatis came back and he was a 960 OPS guy? Yeah, that would be awesome because that was one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Short sample size, yes, but that combination of power and shortstop ability, like that would have been generational. That's like Alex Rodriguez, and that's basically it. So it's a shame that Tatis is maybe a little underachieving based on what he flashed so early on, but he's still an elite player. He's still a perennial all-star caliber player, a perennial MVP vote getter caliber player. And I'm excited to see what 2026 holds.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, 2026 is going to be very interesting, I think, for Tatis. Here, I'll talk about him a little bit more in my list, but let me go into my next one. That's all right. With the also number 3 for me, and this is one that, again, 1 through 3, this is just another league up after 4 and 5. I have one Ronald Acuna Jr. And this might make some splashes mad, but here's the thing, right? Acuna could very easily be number 2. It is like it's really comes down to what do you value more. And for me, I like the consistency I've seen for Fernando Tatis Jr. more. Tatis has great power, great batting, and is also one of the best fielders in baseball. Right fielders in baseball, should say. Acuna has struggled defensively. Offensively, the man is a monster. The man is fantastic, and he is so much fun to watch. He is a game changer by himself, so I'll talk good about Acuna here on this. I don't care about the defense when it comes to him. You've got Michael Harris over center field for that. Like, he's all you need from Acuna is serviceable defense, which he does-ish. He has a strong arm. Okay, cool. You need that from a right fielder. And he hits the absolute snot out of the ball. Does that extremely well. He also, by the way, steals a lot of bases when he's healthy. The reason why I put him at 3 is those words, though. When he's healthy. I love him to death. He is one of the most electrifying players in the game. Please stay healthy. Like, on a Braves team that is already getting decimated by injuries, don't be another one that gets injured, please. Just please don't. This is not even Splash saying it. This is me saying it. I want to see a healthy Ronald Acuna absolutely wreck shop against everybody.
So I'll go into my number 3. I mean, I'll do my number 2 right after, but I'll start with my number 3, which is Corbin Carroll. I mean, he really, really impressed me this year. First of all, I remember we all sort of were wondering what would happen to Corbin Carroll because of that slow first half where he had an OPS of 635 in 2024. He had a 919 OPS in the second half that year. And then this year, I mean, 139 WRC plus, a 30-30 season. His walk rate was still above 10%. And, like, yes, his strikeout rate went up, but, I mean, you accept that when you hit for power the way he did this year. He started hitting the ball hard consistently. His barrel rate, his hard hit rate, his average exit velocity all took significant jumps. His bat speed went up. And his defense improved significantly, 10 outs above average this year. He does not have a good throwing arm, which is fine. But, I mean, he's 6.5 F4. That's higher than Tatis, higher than Tucker. You know, I think really he put it all together this year. And I think he can rank anywhere from 3 to 5, really. But it really is unfortunate that he got injured, and it might take him a little bit to sort of get back on his feet. But yeah, I really like Corbin Carroll, and I have him at number 3. And I'll roll into number 2, and I have Ronald Acuna Jr. there. I mean, really, number 1 is obviously like in another stratosphere, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is really just an exceptional baseball player. I mean, he only played 95 games, but he still put up 3.5 F4, 161 WRC plus, and that is with sort of like a power outage in the second half of the season. He still had great overall numbers. If he could just stay healthy, he will be an MVP candidate again this year. I mean, 21 homers. He scored 74 runs in only 95 games for what that's worth. 17% walk rate. That is going places. You can accept the 25% strikeout rate with that. And like I said, his defense, it definitely regressed. But I think if he's playing on a healthy knee, I think he is a perfectly adequate right fielder. He still has a strong throwing arm too. So Acuna hits the tar out of the ball. He's really improved, I think, from a plate discipline standpoint. You know, he's an instant threat at the top of the lineup. So I have him at number 2. He would be number 1, I think, if there wasn't just a certain player terrorizing baseballs across the league.
Yeah, and I'll wrap up our 2s here. Well, I guess not wrap up because Alex has his number 2 to do, but Ronald Acuna is my number 2. Just one of the most electric, just spectacular players in the sport. The tools are really loud. It's like a grenade going off, like his home run celebration. And frankly, if Juan Soto was still in right field, this would be a conversation very similar to the Tatis versus Carroll debate that, 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. And I think, there's some things that Soto does well, better than Acuna. The health is a big thing. He walks even more than Acuna does. I will point out Ronald had a .417 on base percentage this year, which was even higher than his MVP season. So that's been a debate since 2018. That would have been a fun 2 versus 3, but fortunately we don't have to have that debate and we can just put Ronald at 2. Just an exceptional talent. Walt Weiss, put him back at the leadoff spot. He is the greatest leadoff hitter the sport has ever seen. Stop fiddling with greatness, please. I digress.
I have pushback on that. Ichiro Suzuki would like to say
Ronald Acuna has the highest OPS out of the leadoff spot in the history of Major League Baseball. Among players who have sufficient.
I'll still take Ichiro.
Okay, well at that point I'll just raise you Ricky Henderson, pal.
Okay, I like Ricky Henderson too. Yeah.
But regardless, the OPS, the stats speak for themselves, and Ronald. To put this into perspective, his 2023 season, he was such a positive on winning. The comparisons for win probability added in terms of games with a positive win probability added. Basically, did you help your team win today? Did you increase your team's chances of winning today? Here are the top 3 marks in the history of the sport. Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, 2023 Ronald Acuna Jr. When Ronald is on, there is no player in baseball, even Judge, even Ohtani, they are not on that list. I have updated it with the last 2 years. Judge has gone superhuman twice. Ohtani has gone superhuman twice. They are not on the list. 2023 Ronald is. The 40-70 season, I don't know if he's going to do that again, but I think he could have 35 homers and 30 steals. He stole like crazy in the Winter League. I hope he steals more for the Braves this season. He's going to play center field for Venezuela in the WBC. Last time he did that, I don't know. He just went out and won the MVP unanimously. So, Ronald Acuna, my GOAT. Go Braves.
Fair enough. Yep. I already touched on my number 2, so, but I'll just make it official here. I have Tatis at number 2. And what it really came down to for me is that Acuna's offense is elite. His base running is base stealing is elite. Fernando Tatis's power, pretty darn good, close to elite. And according at least to Fangraphs here, he is the best defensive right fielder in baseball. And it's not particularly close either. Tatis is a player that legitimately, when he stays on the field, is a complete difference maker. He's had issues with staying on the field, one to injuries, and also to his own, let's just say, mental bad habits, for lack of a better term. Getting ringworm. But I can't find a knock on the guy. Legitimately, he is one of the most complete players in the game. He's got speed, power, fielding, and arm strength. He's got it all. Here, the only reason why he's not number 1 is because the next player, the number 1 on all of our lists, is a player that defies the entire game of baseball. He defines what it means to be a hitter in Major League Baseball. And obviously, we all know that guy is Mariner platoon guy Rob Refsnyder. I mean, the dude is an absolute legendary powerhouse.
Yeah, that was my number 1. How'd you know?
It's Judge. I mean, what do we need to say at this point?
Do you mean Jude? Wait. Do you mean Jude?
Yeah, hey, Jude.
Oh, yeah, no, Arson Jude. Can we have the combination of the memes on this one? Arson Jude.
That's a good one.
Shout out Fanatics for
no, that wasn't Fanatics. That was
DHgate.
Shout out to Fanatics for their jerseys that will not arrive until after the WBC. Anyway, regardless, no, I mean, what more do we need to say about Judge? The dude is the best hitter in the game. Like, there's Juan Soto, who's probably one of the best pure hitters here, where he is great with power, all that. He's great with eyes. Aaron Judge takes that and says +1. He's just better. Watching him at the plate, he gets the Ohtani treatment too. He gets walked a lot more often than you'd expect, and it's just intentionally walked. When he makes contact, the ball sounds like it just broke the sound barrier. What? On top of it, defense is also very, very good. There's that clip that keeps getting circulated around of him fielding a ball off of the right field wall in Yankee Stadium, and then just casually, it looks like it's just a casual throw, but it is a pinpoint laser to second base to nail a runner out that was trying to advance an extra bag. The dude's good at defense here. He is an absolute mammoth of a human being, and there's not a knock on him. I mean, you can say he strikes out a bit, but when you're mashing constantly 45, 50 home runs a season, and you're driving in over 100 runs, and your WAR stat is the best in baseball, next to one Ohtani Shohei. I mean, it's Arson Jude, guys.
I mean, what more can we even say about this guy? He just had his third 200 plus WRC plus season in the last 4 years. He had his third season of double-digit WAR, 10.1. He had his, if I'm not mistaken, count that, his fifth 50-homer season. We are witnessing greatness, folks. I feel like this generation is really bad at appreciating greatness, but we have to take a second and just appreciate what Aaron Judge has done. I mean, I know that he had injuries when he was a younger player, and we finally got to see him perform over the course of a full season. And it feels like he hasn't stopped hitting ever since that 2022 season. People were wondering if that was just going to be a contract year thing, but he's really amazing. I know his defense, he had 4 outs above average. I know his his arm sort of took a step back because he was dealing with that elbow injury. But the reality is he's just amazing at everything he does. He's just I can't really think of a knock on him. He hits the ball hard. He walks a lot. His Statcast page is basically a sea of red. Aaron Judge is amazing. If you haven't already taken a moment to appreciate his greatness, don't take it for granted, because I mean you see these type of players like once in a generation.
Yeah.
Honestly, with Judge, like calling him generational is a little disingenuous. He might be just the best right-handed hitter of all time.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah, that's the kind of company.
I think so. Yeah.
There's a reasonable chance that if I challenged you to find a person who has seen a better hitter than Aaron Judge from the right side, you probably couldn't do it. Unless you happen to know someone who saw Rogers Hornsby play baseball. Like the company that Judge keeps, it's like Rogers Hornsby. Like it's not even Pujols was very good. Judge is a cut above Pujols. Like Cabrera was great. Judge is a cut above that. It's just magnificent to watch. And this year it's hard to say he put it all together because he didn't have his most home runs. He didn't have his most RBIs. He didn't have his most walks. He didn't have his highest on base. He didn't have his highest slug. He didn't have his highest OPS or OPS plus. But he hit 331. He walked 124 times. He had 85 extra base hits. He led the American League in runs, a career high 137. A
Not
215 OPS plus. He was actually graded out as a plus defender by defensive runs saved. So that helped him out in the WAR category, even if his offense took a little, quote unquote, little bit of a dip from 225 OPS plus to just a 215, which would be the best by a right-handed hitter since the aforementioned Rogers Hornsby, essentially. Like I had my questions after 2022. I said on the podcast, I don't know if this is just the peak of Judge and he'll go back to being a 170 OPS plus guy, which he did. The next year he went back to being a 175 OPS plus guy. Then he broke his toe at Dodger Stadium. Then the last 2 years, he's like, oh, hey, Splash, I'm even better, actually. And OPS above 1,100 back-to-back years is just phenomenal. He slugged 701 in 2024. That's ridiculous. He won the Major League batting title in 2025. That is absurd. And perhaps the craziest thing, he's led the majors in WAR 3 times, overlapping with Shohei Ohtani. That is just mind-boggling. So,
absolutely,
like, he's an exceptional player. Generational doesn't do it justice. He is the best right-handed hitter we've seen in 100 years, in all likelihood. And maybe there's a chance he can surpass Hornsby. That one's tough because Hornsby just had such 207, 188, 222, 210, 175, 202, 178. Like his stats are staggering, a 175 career OPS plus, but Aaron Judge is at 179 right now. So as of right now, that is a legitimate conversation.
Yeah.
That's just,
it's incredible to see the fact that we are watching a player that will go down as one of the greatest to ever do this. Like, not just right-handed hitters, all that. He's just going to go down as one of the greatest here. And think about, again, this is a player that when he first came into the league, people were extremely divisive about him because he struck out a lot. He struck out over 200 times here. There's no way that's going to translate to the big league level. Well, it's translated. And the translation reads as follows: best player in the game. Best hitter in baseball, and it's not even really close. Here, that's what's impressive about all this. Let us know what you guys think. Here, let us know, do you think that Aaron Judge is not near as good as we make him out to be? Do you think that Rob Refsnyder really is the best in baseball? Let us know here on Twitter at LAR_baseball. But now, everyone, it is time for trivia, and today I am hosting trivia in a segment I like to call Match Faker. Because it is not Matchmaker. You do not want to match with me on these. I have a bunch of prompts in front of me. In fact, I believe I have 11 prompts here that are all just name a player, name a team, name a something. And I've answered them all already before we started today's program. I need you guys to not match my answer for any of these. When you match, you get a strike. 3 strikes and you're out, or just whoever has the most strikes by the end of this. It will start easy and get progressively harder. We've done this before.
Damn, we're doing the pacer
Here.
test?
The Fitness Gram Pacer test, the
Pacer test.
multi-stage
Fitness Gram Pacer
aerobic
test.
capacity, something.
Random little story. I did that back in high school. They had the one for sit-ups here, where it just constantly goes up, down.
Yeah.
And one of the first times like I did it as a sophomore, I think it was the second time I did it. I lost count.
Oh.
And so I just kept going because I didn't want to report a number that wasn't accurate or the right number because they would call me on it. And so I found out that there's a maximum that goes to 80.
Oh. Yeah.
So-
Okay. Good stuff, Al.
Did that.
Yeah, I remember.
Did
Yeah,
that.
I think actually for some reason my school cut off at 75, and I was like, I could go for another 75 probably, but I'll stop.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Believe it or not, younger Alex very strong. But now Alex, still pretty strong. Anyway, so we're going to start the first one here. Let's have a little bit of fun with spring training going on.
Okay.
Name a player who has hit a home run so far in spring training. So what I want you guys to do is just write it down here, whether it be like a little sticky note you have, a little journal, whatever here. And then just when you both have your answer, then we could go ahead and see if you guys have matched with me somehow. But like I said, it's going to get progressively harder to not match with me. All right. Do you guys both have a player? Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Both of you guys reveal what is your player.
Mike Yastrzemski.
Mike Yastrzemski,
Mike Talkman.
Mike Taubman. Cool. My player was Connor Joe. So
Ooh.
that
I
is
was this close
you
to
guys
going
have
to
fun.
Connor Griffin, so that would have been scary.
that would have been fun. All right. Next to you guys, name a minor league baseball team. Just name one.
Any of them?
There's a lot of them out there. There's really
Yeah,
funny
there are a
names
lot
out
of
there,
those.
too.
I gotta do some.
Again,
thinking
the
too.
goal is to not match with me. And I will say, like I've said a few times already, it will get harder.
Okay. I got my name.
All right. You guys got your answers?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Reveal. What team have you guys put?
The Hub City
The
Spartan
Hub
Burgers.
City
Rocket City
Spartanburgers.
Trash Pandas.
Both are great answers. I said the Modesto Nuts
Okay.
here. So I honestly thought about putting Trash Pandas. So you're already on a little bit thin ice
Would've
there,
been
Matt.
cooked. Okay.
All right. Number 3, name an MLB team that ended 2025 above 500.
Now I have to do some
Name
thinking.
an MLB team that finished above 500. Fellas, what is your answer?
Hang on, I gotta.
I have my answer.
Okay.
God, do I even like this answer?
The Rockies.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. Also, if you say an answer that's just outright incorrect, you will get a strike.
Darn it.
All right, I got an answer.
So if you try to say the Colorado Rockies,
All right.
no.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys good? All right. Reveal.
Cincinnati Reds.
I also said the Reds.
You both said the Cincinnati Reds. Here, they finished with an 83-79 record. I said the Dodgers, so you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I try not to go with the obvious one on all of these, but I do with a few just to mess with you.
Okay.
All right. Name a pitcher on the current Atlanta Braves roster.
Oh, what?
Oh, brother.
Now I have to think like who's on their team.
Again, just need to name a pitcher from the Atlanta Braves roster. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Hang on.
By the way, I don't need to mention. I didn't say active play. Like they can be injured. Here, it's about.
All right, I got an
does
answer.
the team
Them are injured, I
list
can
them
assure
as
you.
a player on their team.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys reveal.
Martin Perez.
Dylan
Martin
Lee.
Perez. Dylan Lee. I said Chris Sale, so you guys are both
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
All right, next up, name a team that played in the 2025 postseason.
Oh, what? Okay.
All right, you guys are still so far fine. Here, no strikes yet. Although I have a feeling pretty soon we're going to be changing up that just a little bit here, but we shall see.
All right.
All right.
I have an answer.
All right,
Okay.
both of y'all reveal.
Cincinnati
Wait.
Reds again.
Cleveland Guardians.
All right, good. I said Brewers, so
Okay.
you guys are both fine still, but it's starting to get a little bit closer. Name a player on the Team USA WBC roster that this is their first year with the team.
All right.
Yeah, I might be
There's a few
cooked
of 'em.
here. I might be cooked here. Not
We'll
gonna
see.
lie.
All right, you guys both got your names.
Yep.
All right, reveal.
Ernie Clement.
Clay Holmes.
All right, both of you guys are correct here on that. I said Roman Anthony, so you guys are both fine.
Okay.
All right, we're getting more down to nitty gritty time. I have 4 more prompts left. Name a Mariner that in 2025 hit at least 20 home runs.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, name a Mariner that in 2025 hit at least 20 home runs. I'll tell you, there's 5. 4 or 5. All right, got your answers?
Hang
Yep.
on.
All right. I'm honestly surprised we've not gotten a strike yet, because I think the first time we did this, Mac, you got a strike on like the 3rd one,
All right.
and I'm
I got
like,
an
how
answer.
did we get matched that one?
All right.
All right, go ahead and reveal.
Randy
Dumper
Rosarena.
Grand.
Le Dumper Grant. I love that splash. You did not fall for my trick. Good job. I said Jorge Polanco.
Metropolitans.
All
legend.
right, still
Yeah,
no
first baseman.
strikes. You know, we've done a Braves question, we've done a Mariners question. Let's do a Mets one. Name a Met
Great.
who drew at least 50 walks in 2025.
Ooh, I
Uh,
don't know if there are that
Name a
many
Met who
options
drew at
here.
least 50 walks in 2025.
uh,
Not a ton of options here, but there's a few.
Yeah, no, there really are not many options. So now I have to think.
To give you an idea here, right? There are 4 Mets
Only
last year that
4?
did this feat.
Darn.
All right. You guys got your answer?
Yes.
All right.
I don't feel
reveal.
too good about this. Francisco
Alonso?
Lindor.
Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso, I can tell you both are above 50. And I said Juan Soto trying to trick you guys. So good job. No
thank
strikes
God.
yet.
I had John Soto written down.
You should put John Soda.
John Soto.
Soda.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Next one. Name a closer with at least 30 saves in 2025.
Hmm.
Name a closer with at least, let's see, yeah, I don't know. At least 30 saves in 2025. There's actually more for this one than there was in the last one, so I've done myself a disservice here, but that's okay.
Mm.
Hmm.
I know
Good,
who
man.
didn't get it. That fraud that played for the Mets.
Yeah,
And now it's on the-
Edwin Durant.
No, not that one. The other.
Edwin Durant.
Yeah.
All right, you guys both ready?
Hang on,
Wait,
hang on.
I'm blanking on it. What's his name?
There's a lot of players that you can say that for.
I'm trying to think like who. I
Ooh,
think I have
wait.
an answer.
That might be a better one. If I can remember his freaking name. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I don't feel good about this, but
All right,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
See what? All right, reveal.
Carlos Estevez.
Yohan Duran.
Carlos Estevez and Johan Duran are both correct answers. I said Emilio Pagan. You guys are both safe.
Okay, yeah, that.
Mr. Kingdom himself. I love him.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. We are now down to the last question.
Hmm.
And you guys are still tied at no strikes. I'm impressed. This will probably change that. Name an MLB player who won the MVP award in 2025.
Oh, what? Come on.
Okay.
It comes down to a coin flip, fellas.
Okay.
Because there are 2 answers total. I like how Mac went like deafened for a sec on that, just to be like, no, gotta yell for a sec. No, you're good, man.
All right, I have my answer.
All righty.
I have defeated your game, Alex.
Here's the thing, Splash. I worded this question very carefully. So, all right. Let me know.
Hang on.
Splash, if you give me not one of the 2 answers, you will receive a strike.
No.
All right. I got an answer.
All right. Reveal.
Bam! I do have judgment
Shohei
at the bottom
Ohtani.
in case the shenanigans are not shenaniganing.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna. I said, well, no, I guess that would make sense, but yeah, no, I'm going with Judge. You said Judge. Mac, you said Ohtani, right?
Yeah. I was writing
Okay.
Judge and I crossed him out.
Oh,
Okay, so
So do I win?
that does mean that one of you has received a strike. The person that is receiving the strike is Mac. I said
Dang.
Shohei Ohtani.
Cooked.
Splash, you have won a clean game. Here, my friend, congratulations.
Bang. I guess Ohtani was NLCS MVP too.
He was.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then
Anyway.
Yamamoto was World Series MVP.
Yes.
Okay. Who was All-Star Game MVP?
Schwarber.
Oh, that's
that's
true.
right.
Yeah, I really should have worded that a little bit differently, but that's okay.
That's right.
Fair enough. Anyway, thank you guys for that. That trivia is always a fun time here. But now, it is now time for the moment to ourselves where we take a moment to talk about whatever's on our mind. It does not have to be baseball related, but it absolutely can be. This time we've actually predetermined our order for this. So I'm going to hand things over to Splash. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm trying to, there we go. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Okay. Like many, I was introduced to Rondell Moore in the fall of 2018, particularly when he barbecued Ohio State on, I believe, Friday Night Football. And over the weekend, he decided to take his life. He was 25. I turn 25 next week or in 2 weeks. Like I'm close enough to 25 that when I go to the doctor tomorrow, I'm going to say, oh, I'm almost 25. And it's just I feel a profound sadness that I never met Rondell Moore. I'm not a Purdue fan, not a Cardinals fan, not a Vikings fan. I have no connection to Rondell Moore other than he's one of my favorite players. I have his jersey, his Cardinals jersey. I bought it in September. And just he was a special player to watch. Just the second you put your eyes on him at Purdue, it's like this cat is different. And just a shame. And you hear all the stories, his teammates, the JJ Watts, Hollywood Browns of the world, his teammates at Purdue. Purdue had a really touching piece of art in their school newspaper with Moore meeting Tyler. I'm blanking on his last name, unfortunately, but just I feel profoundly sad there's so many players, there's so many men, there's so many people that feel to take that decision, and it's a struggle. And yeah, want to offer, I'm sure Mac and Alex will agree with the sentiment that if you need help, you can reach out. LAR Baseball. I'll pop up all of our tags. Reach out. We'll get back to you. We'll listen. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out for help. The suicide hotline is 988. It's no longer the Logic song, but I woke up Saturday night and saw the news, and I couldn't believe it, and just sad. Like, I cried at work the whole night. That's just like I won't get to watch Rondell Moore play football again. That sucks. And his teammates and his family, they won't get to see him around the facility anymore. They won't get to see him at Christmas dinners, birthday dinners, going to church on Easter. I don't know if he was religious, not the point. Just the little things. He won't get to go to the grocery store again. So if you need help, reach out. We're all here for you.
One of the hardest things to do in this life is to ask for help. And that is something that real strength does not come from a gym. Real strength does not come from protein powder or anything of that. It comes from having the courage to ask for help when you need it. It comes from being able to help others when they need it here. And that was very touching, Splash. Thank you. All right. Mac, let's move on to you. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on the snowstorm for a second. 20 inches of snow. It's the most snow we've gotten, at least in New York, in, I believe, about a decade or so. It might be more. But I want to shout out all those city workers who I woke up yesterday morning and the streets were mostly clean. Remarkable effort from the doormen or doorwomen who stayed overnight, who shoveled the streets clean. Obviously, there's still a lot of snowbanks lined up, but really, really amazing effort. All of the mayor's workers, Mayor Mamdani's workers. It's really remarkable how, yes, it was above freezing today, but how the streets, unlike the last snowstorm a few weeks ago, are walkable. There aren't a lot of crazy slush puddles around the streets. The subway platforms are still sort of slippery, but really, I'm amazed. Last time we had a snowstorm, the streets were not walkable for a few days at least, and here we are about 48 hours removed from having 20 inches of snow on the ground, and it's really just amazing. So shout out to everyone who worked on that. I know people were a little confused with why public schools were open yesterday, but the reality is the city workers, the doormen, all those people worked hard enough to get the streets clean. So it's awesome, really. The 20 inches of snow was a lot. Really, I couldn't believe it actually got to that blizzard point, but yeah, those are just my 2 cents. And yeah, hopefully we're out of the woods here. I know it's gonna be freezing cold this weekend, but hopefully we're out of the woods with this whole winter thing.
Yeah, thankfully, the winter. Hold on a sec. There we go. The winter didn't hit the Pacific Northwest too much here. We did have a little bit of snow, not very much though, but it was gone within hours here. So I'm very thankful I haven't been on the East Coast for that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you are safe though. That's what I want to say. Mostly, I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, it was amazing that the mayor actually gave the kids a traditional snow day. Like those don't exist these days. But he literally he gave them first day after midwinter break, and they had an actual snow day. Like that's
Honestly,
how you knew a blizzard was coming.
One of the saddest things I have now for today's youth here is that they're told over the phone whether or not like school is canceled or closed for any reason. But like me growing up, I don't know if it was the same for you, it might have been. Here, me growing up, we watched the bottom ticker of the news like it was the NBA draft. Like waiting to see, come on, Maywood! Come on, Maywood!
We had both. Like we'd watch the ABC affiliate in Atlanta. But we'd also get a call from the school system. I want to give a shout out to my cousin. He took one of his Zoom classes here at the apartment Monday morning.
Oh my.
So like he goes to George Mason. They closed the school for the day, but they still had classes. And then shout out to my teacher friend in Philadelphia that was on Zoom with her fifth graders at 10 in the morning on a snow day when they got 1.5 feet of snow in Philly.
Yeah, see, New York City was just like, all right, this is like a full snow day. We're not even going to do Zoom school or any of that. Which I was like, nowadays snow days don't really exist. So for those who got this snow day, hopefully that becomes more regular for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I am ready to go for mine. Can someone count me down?
Yeah, I got you. 1 sec. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I want to end the podcast today on a positive note here, and that is I've not told a ton of people about this here, but people know that I've been trying to lose weight, and losing weight is hard. Losing weight is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but I got approved to be on a weight loss drug to help out with losing body fat and all that here, and I'm now taking Ozempic. And the reason why I bring that up here, I didn't want to just bring it up saying, hey, I'm just starting things now. Let's hope it goes good. I'm coming in with results already. Within the little bit that I've been taking, I'm already down 5 pounds. And for the first time, I think since 2022, 2023, my weight begins with a 2 as opposed to beginning with a 3. And when I saw that on the scale, when I stepped on it, here, I was emotional. I was so happy because, again, at least if it starts with a 2, there's at least some hope, right? Like seeing the 3 just always hurt me, and seeing the fact that now I can actually seeing that this is working is the best thing to me. I'm going to keep going on it and need to say a thank you as well. My mom, who's helping me out with all this, who's also, because she's been on Ozempic too, and it was showing me what I needed to do for it, so it made my transition for it a lot easier. But I'm gonna keep working on this. I have not been eating near as much. One of the things it does is it basically kills your appetite. But working out here, a lot of movement here, and hopefully, within the next year or so, I'm gonna be looking a lot better here, and I'll be able to actually run playing baseball again, because I'm not good at running and my knees are broken. But with that being said, just want to say if sometimes you do need a little extra help here for things, going back to even with what Splash was talking about here, that is one way that asking for help is not only accepted, but it's encouraged when you have other goals as well. Like it doesn't always have to be a drastic scenario for you to ask for help for something. Here, that's another thing just to kind of keep in mind here, right? I've asked for help, and I'm seeing results I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, congratulations, Alex.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Great milestone.
Thank you. All right, but with all that being said, I think that's going to be enough here for today's podcast. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in today. Here, make sure you go follow all of us on social media. You can follow the podcast at LAR_baseball on Twitter. Also, subscribe to the YouTube here, Losses Above Replacement. You can go follow each of us individually on social media. You can go follow me at the Sports Guy 242. You can go follow Mac at Matthias_A_K. And you can go follow Splash at Mr. Splashman19. But from all of us here at Losses Above Replacement, I want to thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. Ask for help. And I hope to see you all real soon. Thank you.